Shalom, Kal Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Baharakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the earth. I opened the lesson speaking the ancient Hebrew, and I gave all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose true name is Yahweh. All right, in the name of his son, Yahawashai. And those are the true names of who this world calls God and Jesus Christ. All right. The real Hebrew Israelites are us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So we know we're living in the last days where our Lord Yahweh Shai is going to make his second coming to deliver an elect remnant of Israel, whom we hope to be a part of. We hope to be a part of that elect remnant. All right. So I'm back in the spirit with a quick video. And Lord willing, with a few scriptures, a few precepts, we'll go over the purpose of a prophet. All right. We know that a prophet is to prophesy, right? To warn people of a doom that's coming. All right. And that's exactly what we're set up to do here in these last days. Okay, so we'll start here with Joel 2. It reads, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain." All right, now, in the ancient world, you would have high towers, and you would have watchmen upon those towers. And those watchmen, when they would observe a threat to the rest of the city, they would blow a trumpet, right? Sound an alarm. Okay. And that was a warning to all within that city that danger was coming. Okay. So that's what prophets are likened to. It says, "Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand." All right. So this is what we're set up for in these last days, to warn our people that the day of the Lord is coming. All right. And what consists of the day of the Lord? Let's read verse 2. It says, "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains." All right. Now, this is in general, signifies the dark time that we're coming into. All right. Okay. And then it also goes into the nuclear destruction that's coming. That's going to literally cause dark mushroom clouds that are going to block out the sun. It says, "A great people and a strong there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations." All right. Now it's going into the nuclear missiles. All right. When you read down, it says, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them." Right, because these missiles are going to destroy every and anything in its path. All right, and it's prophesied that this land, America, so-called America, Babylon the Great in the scriptures, is going to become a lake of fire. And after it's burning, it's going to be left desolate, a desolate wilderness with no inhabitants. All right. It says, "The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses." Right. Again, going into those missiles, the nukes. "And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame, of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before and these missiles are likened to an army. Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness." All right. So this is the doom that we're warning of. It says, "They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. right, going into how these missiles, all right, there's not going to be any nuclear defense system, all right, no Golden Dome or Iron Dome, all right, that's going to be able to stop these missiles. When they're shot off, they're going to hit the mark that they're set and programmed to hit. All right. Why? Because, these are the Lord's instruments ultimately. All right. And the angels, the chariots will be guiding those missiles. The spirit of the Lord will be in that nuclear fire. It says they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. All right. Now, what is a precept to that? What is the day of the Lord likened to? It's likened to a thief in the night, right? To catch people off guard. And that destruction is going to happen suddenly, unexpectedly. All right. Because these people, they haven't taken heed to this warning. All right. The warning from the prophets, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai through his prophets. All right. So let's grab 1 Thessalonians 2 or 1 Thessalonians 5. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right. And in Joel, the 2nd chapter, we read about the day of the Lord that's at hand, right? Gloominess, clouds and thick darkness. All right. Those missiles. All right. So at the beginning of Joel, what did it command us to do? To sound an alarm, blow the trumpet. We're warning of this great day of judgment. Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. It reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. So all the prophets of old, of ancient times, have always prophesied against the wicked kingdom that was on the earth, of these things, war, evil, and pestilence. And nothing has changed. Now we're prophesying against a great country, a great kingdom, right? Babylon the Great, America, right? This whole beast system, which is the Roman Empire revived in NATO and the EU, right? That's spreading wickedness throughout this earth. So what's coming? War, evil, and pestilence. It says the prophet that prophesieth, or the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. All right. And, there, what this means is that you're going to know, like it says at the end of Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, when these things come to pass, you're going to know that a prophet has been among you. All right. We're not in the time of peace. We're in the time of war and evil and hate, bad times. All right. And just like it says in verse 8, all of the prophets that have ever been have prophesied of these things, war, evil, and pestilence. So what makes you think something has changed now? All right. Because you got these various Israelite camps, who call themselves men of the Lord, call themselves prophets, but, they're teaching doctrines of, being yoked with this world. All right. Prospering in this wicked, evil society. All right. They're not prophesying the downfall of this place, which means they're not warning their congregation of these things to come. All right. And the blood of their congregation, like it tells us in Ezekiel, is going to be upon their head. All right. They have blood on their hands. Ezekiel 33 and verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. This is what we were set up for. All right. This is what we were set up to do, to watch. Watch what? In particular, the prophecies. You know, the words of the Lord coming to pass and getting ready to come to pass. Right? Judgments. Okay. And then what? To warn. And that's what we're doing. Verse 8, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou has delivered thy soul. Why? Because we did our job. We warned you. All right. So the people of this world, you know, like the scriptures say, they have no cloak for their sins because Yahushua came. All right. He made his sacrifice. All right. He set this gospel up. And you have the men of the Lord in these last days, his followers that are prophesying, warning, blowing the trumpet, sounding the alarm. All right. Now, if you take heed or not, as the scriptures say, whether they hear or whether they forbear. All right. That's on you. All right. But you cannot say you weren't warned, that you never heard this. In fact, just jump down to verse 33. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. But for many, it's going to be too late. Because they heard this word, they heard the sound of the alarm, right? They heard the trumpet being blown, the warning, but they ignored it and went on about their lives. So when the destruction hits, when the day of the Lord comes on them, like the scriptures say, like a thief in the night, they're not going to have an escape, and it'll be too late. All right. So we'll end it with Proverbs 1 in the end of the chapter, you know, for those that are and that have taken heed to the warning. Verse 33, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. All right. And what does the word hearkeneth mean? Let's get it in the blue letter. So the Hebrew word for hearkeneth is shamai, which means what? To hear, to listen, to obey. All right. Perceive by ear. All right. To hear with attention or interest, to understand. Right. Give heed, to agree, to obey, be obedient, to be heard of voice or sound. Right. And then what does it say right here? To sound an alarm. All right. So those that have taken heed to the alarm. And these Strong's translations, you know, one of the words or a few words that stand out say what? Diligently. All right. Discern. Those that are able to perceive and discern. All right. So again, Proverbs 1 and 33, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And that is the elect in the NLT. But all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. So I'm going to end it right there, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Baharakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.